productivity gap between creators who use AI and those who don't isn't just a gap, it is a chasm. While there are many creators out there who spend days perfecting one piece of content, there are others just pumping multiple pieces out per day. Today, I want to show you how to keep up with the competition. I want to show you the AI skills you're going to need. We'll be covering idea mining, and that's actually all I'm going to cover because I realized this video was getting way too long. What I find is that most creators research competitors the hard way. Traditionally, you would manually scroll through a competitor's channel, rank it by popular, and then look at what titles work and then write all those down. And then you would think about, what works between all these titles? What are the commonalities between them? But for the most part, this is really just guesswork, and it's really slow and time consuming. And the worst part is, if you're new to YouTube and you don't have that YouTube instinct built in just yet, then the manual search method is a bit more unreliable. You're much more prone to your own biases. Bias? I don't English. Okay, so honestly, the simplest thing you can do is just scroll down however many videos you need to track, and you can just do this. You can highlight it and scroll down, or if you're really lazy, just Control A, Control C, and then I would just paste that into your ChatGPT, your Claude, whatever. And here's the funny thing, there's a whole bunch of garbage here, but it generally does understand. It can read between the lines and gather context of what you've copy and pasted. So you could literally say like, clean up the following for me and format it as title when it was uploaded, number of views, and do this for each video. Generally this should work. So I would say ChatGPT doesn't have like the biggest context window, but honestly this is like not that much. If there's a lot of information, you might want to use Claude. So here you go. Do not teach your AI dangerous knowledge. Boom. When was it uploaded? 3 weeks ago. Number of views, 2.3k views, and then so on, so forth. So you can see that AI will be able to understand if you just copy and paste the whole thing. This was just a demonstration. You don't need to format it. What I mean is you can just you could just select everything and paste it and then start asking. Like you could just like paste the whole thing and start asking questions because it's gonna understand. Okay, so once you've copy and pasted all the titles or the entire thing, you don't need to format it. What you can do is, can you compare and contrast these titles? Separate them into 3 buckets. Those did poorly, did okay, did well. And then you could say, what about the ones which did well? Why do you think they did well? I don't know, just something like this, right? I'm not thinking that deeply. It's just whatever questions that come to mind that you think you would try to answer yourself as you were doing this. Like if you were to go through this manually, maybe you'd copy the titles. Maybe you would only copy the videos that did super well. You could just sort by popular, right? Then you can think like, what do all these have in common? Literally just ask the same thing to ChatGPT and it can identify some patterns for you. And you can also set your own criteria for what did poorly, did okay, did well. But I kind of prefer just asking it kind of open-ended and letting the AI decide what buckets they were, and then you can adjust if it's really off, but generally I think it does a pretty good job. And now you can see the qualities that the videos that didn't do well had that were in common, and then the ones that did okay, maybe you're like, I don't mind doing videos that are just okay. If you're pumping out videos every day and you're just like, I just need a just okay video that does well enough that it's profitable. And then from here, these are the titles you probably want to be farming, the ideas and the success factors you want to be farming, because you're like, okay, these did really well. If I only make 1 video a week, I would probably try to aim to go into this bucket of videos. And there you go. You save probably hours of thinking. Obviously, this might not all be correct, right? But at least now you quickly have a list of all the titles that did well. And, you know, if you feel like AI's take on it is wrong, then make your own take. I mean, the list is right here. So now that you have this list, you could say, with the common success factors, you know, of the did well of videos, generate like, you know, like 20 more titles and video ideas and their video concepts. Format like this. Title, video concept. I would also say, like, you know, do not repeat ideas that are already on Dr. Waku's channel. Give me unique angles or takes or ideas. You know, like, none of this is very great grammatically or even great idea wise, but you just throw down whatever mumble jumble in your head and just get it out there, and it's gonna do its own interpretation. And then it's gonna do its own interpretation for you. And here you are. You can get 20 more ideas. I could have asked for 50. And you don't have to use all these ideas, right? You read them, you see which one sounds really good, which ones don't sound great. You can even start combining ideas. But the way I see it is that this is just a really great starting point for you to work off of. And if you're really stuck, ChatGPT really likes to offer the next step for you. You can literally just write yes. Wow. Then you get more things where it starts ranking your ideas. And I think critically spotting the patterns or gaps in your competitor's niche, it's how you stack the cards in your favor for making a video that does take off. This is a really easy way of finding a market gap and then being the one to occupy it. You can take this one step further, right? You can just be like, I like this. Can you find any videos that are existing that already talk about this? This is what you do when you want to validate a video idea. You want to find videos that already exist about this topic, and if people are interested. Okay, so you do, I like this video idea. Can you find any videos that are existing that already talk about this? And this way you can start validating your ideas. You can be like, is this a topic that people are interested in? If it is, are there any thumbnails that look really good? The key insight that most creators miss is that yes, generating ideas does take a level of creativity, but on YouTube, what works even better is just having Giga Chad pattern recognition. Think of it this way, your competitors have done the market research, saving you the effort, they've done the trial and error, and now you can just learn from their mistakes. Just as an example, you don't have to be hit by a car to know that it hurts, and being hit by a car is probably not a good thing. There's enough evidence out there that being hit by a car is going to be painful and you're going to have a long recovery. I digress. My point is, there is enough evidence out there that to create a really goddamn good video that people are going to be interested in. AI is just insane at speeding up that process and extracting the information you probably want to know and then synthesizing it into something you can work with. Once you've extracted your titles and ideas, you have some potential concepts to work with, we are going to need to validate them. You can either validate through YouTube, you could validate with Google Analytics, you could validate through your own experience. Having good ideas and good titles is a great start, but we don't know if people are actually interested in these topics anymore. And with time being our most precious resource, we don't want to gamble away our efforts. So we want to have a data-driven approach. This is the part where you tell your LLM, you turn on the web search and have it compare your ideas, compare what you want to make to what people are searching up. Though sometimes I think the data-driven approach kind of paralyzes people. Now there's two ways you can look at this. One is that whatever reasons the AI gives you, you're going to be like, it might be hallucinating them. It doesn't matter. It'll get you started. Or two, you turn on the web search feature for the LLM, for the AI that you're using, and have it try to the best of its ability to find data that backs up each of your titles, and then just have your ideas ranked. That way, you know which ideas might do best or which ideas might do worse. The other thing is, if you're making very niche content, sometimes when you create all your video ideas, some ideas are reliant on ideas that precede them. and you might want to make your videos in the correct order of that. So that's also another area where I would probably ask the AI to help. How would you publish these videos to have a coherent flow between them? Pro tip, once you get comfortable prompting AI for some insights, here is where I would prefer to spot check and fact check the AI. You should really check if the reasoning it gives you makes sense. Apparently, if you're really mean to AI, it does a better job at giving you what you want. But my problem is I tend to be very nice to AI, just in case for the robot uprising, and that means I should probably check my work, and you should too. You could also use other AI to check your AI. My preferred method is to use Perplexity, and if anyone's interested, I could show that in another video. Okay, so this creates your one big win. One comprehensive research session covers a few weeks or a month's worth of content. Instead of scrambling for ideas every few days, just do this once a month. With your new AI skills, you can 1. Analyze successful patterns from competitors. 2. Identify gaps in their content. I would classify that as coverage. You can take those gaps and create unique angles and new ideas from them. 3. Now you can use AI to validate your current ideas against current trends. 4. The most important thing. Now you can create content that you know that there is market demand for. This is how you get a non-insignificant amount of views. That was a double negative. This is how you get a significant amount of views. And keep in mind, significant amount of views differs depending on which niche you're in. Now, you don't have to hope that your next video is just gonna work. And this is more of a data-driven approach. YouTube can be played as a numbers game. The process of YouTube creation is never gonna be perfect. You can only ever stack the odds in your favor and get better at it. Stack the cards in your favor. And then once you put your video out there, it's off to the wind. I think the biggest difference between traditional research and AI-driven research methods isn't just speed. There's just a stronger level of pattern recognition that you're working with because of the large wealth of information that the LLM has to draw from. Like, imagine a brain having knowledge that's millions, if not billions, of times bigger than yours. Some is true, some is not. But regardless if it's true or not, there are just way more patterns that it has been exposed to that you have not. Manual analysis might catch the obvious patterns, but what I've noticed is that AI is really good at identifying subtle correlations, which I never really thought about. So in some way, as you're doing this, you're going to be learning a lot of new patterns. You're actually going to get better at building your YouTube intuition because you're now going to be exposed to patterns which you probably never thought about or even considered. Now that you have systematized winning ideas, the real challenge now becomes execution. Just doing the damn work. But what does that really mean? It means turning compelling ideas into compelling scripts, quickly and consistently. So if you guys found that helpful, leave a comment because I want to respond to everyone. And the next video is going to be on scripting and how to leverage AI in scripting specifically for YouTube. I don't know how to script anything else, but I do know how to leverage AI to make good scripts for YouTube and how you can learn how to do that too. So stay tuned. And if you subscribe, you can be one of the first 10 subscribers on my channel. I'll remember you guys forever, so good night.